The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
if they total defense, they've done that.
Tulsa Roughnecks FC coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. So we're just starting over, basically. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're not doing on camera. Okay. All right. All right. That's good. It was good drill. Good practice. Right, yeah. Pre-game festivities are done here at Toyota Field. We're getting ready for soccer tonight, and it's week 10 of the USL season to San Antonio FC and Tulsa Roughnecks FC getting ready to meet for the first time this year. We'll take a look at our starting 11s for both sides tonight. Coach, you've had a couple of these players, one on either side play for you in the past. We start with the Tulsa Roughnecks FC, and on the back end, Nemanja Vukovic played with you in Indy 11 for a couple of years. You know, Vukovic is one of the best attacking left backs in the league. There's no question about it. Sometimes to the point that he doesn't even look like a left back. He looks more like a winger. That's going to be an interesting matchup against San Antonio's Omar Gordon, who I've also had in Jamaica and with Indianapolis. And because both of them like to attack so much, and then you add Darnell King into the picture, the right back for San Antonio, always coming forward, it's going to be just an interesting duel to see who wins that battle tonight. One change for Darren Powell's squad tonight. Mikey Lopez, a former New York City FC midfielder, will get back into the starting 11 tonight. He'll take out the veteran Rafa Castillo. Mikey Lopez had 2 goals in his first 4 games with San Antonio FC, so it's nice to see him get back into the 11 tonight. We'll see how San Antonio FC plays this against the Tulsa Roughnecks FC squad that, of course, is looking for their first win. Methodist Healthcare has our injury report tonight, and once again, San Antonio FC will be without Ever Guzman and Connor Presley. They've both been out of action since the end of April. Guzman, of course, got injured scoring in Las Vegas in the 17th minute with what appeared to be a lower body injury. He has not played since. Cesar Elizondo was on the injury report earlier, but he actually made the 18 tonight, so that's good news. Elizondo missing the last 2 matchups, so Cesar gets back in the 18 tonight for San Antonio FC. Here's a look at Darren Powell for San Antonio in his 3rd year with an overall record 30 wins, 23 draws, 17 losses. And you think about it, Tim, from going from an expansion club 3 years ago, building the roster, making the postseason a year ago, and now trying to build upon that success, it's been a really fun ride for Darren Powell.
It has. He's a tremendous coach. He's got an outstanding coaching staff. Everyone has a role that fits his needs, and you know, he's shown great experience having been with Orlando, having been a college coach. He knows the game and inside out, and he's pulling in players that are going to be his players, that are going to play with loyalty and heart and desire for this franchise.
There's your former left back Nemanja Vukovic, who played 15 games with Columbus back in 2012. Overall, 58 games in USL, played 249 total games in his career. San Antonio FC in their home black kits tonight, trimmed in red and white. Tulsa in their away white kits, trimmed in red and black. San Antonio FC in league play is a perfect 5-0 against Tulsa. They did also win in the Western Conference quarterfinal match here a year ago, 2-1. Their only blemish came in the 3rd round of the U.S. Open Cup a year ago. Tulsa winning in penalty kicks against San Antonio FC. There's David Vaudrell, 2nd-year head coach, and well, I don't want to say it's becoming a hotter seat for him, but when you go 9 weeks without a victory, he's as anxious as I'm sure anybody is out on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, as a coach, you're getting pretty desperate at this point, and you're experimenting, and that doesn't always suit. Giving the team a steadiness and a way to play that players understand. So half the time, when you keep making changes like this, it puts your players in a position that when you lose the ball, they're not always quick to recover or know how to cover. So it's a predicament. They need a little bit of luck tonight.
And away we go with Tim Hankerson and our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us here. Our first of 9 telecasts this season on Fox Sports Southwest. San Antonio FC and Tulsa Roughnecks FC meeting for the first time this year. San Antonio coming off a 4th consecutive unbeaten match last Saturday night down in the Valley. Went 0-0 with Rio Grande Valley FC. Tulsa was on the losing end of a 5-1 score on their home pitch at 1 OK Field in Tulsa against maybe the hottest team in the league, Phoenix Rising FC, who plays later tonight in a showdown against the other top team in the West, Sacramento. A turnover in the defensive third of the field for San Antonio FC, but a nice job there getting back by Ryan Felix. Play it away upfield.
Yeah, it's very crucial that the possession work out well. You know, San Antonio has 51% overall in USL games as far as a possession clock, and that's very respectable. But in the last 3 games against Tulsa, actually Tulsa has had the better of the possession. So that's going to be key. And the modern system now pushes the wing backs up, Cochran and Daryl King on the other side. And therefore the 2 center backs have to rely on Mickey Lopez and Pekka to help them build the play. And you saw in that last moment where the turnover comes because the possession isn't quite clean, getting used to Lopez without Castillo there, who's always been very safe on the ball.
And the offside flag goes up. That's Michael Gamble. It was a 2nd-round draft selection by the New England Revolution back in the 2016 MLS draft. Gamble from Bedford, England, played 1 game a year ago with the Rochester Rhinos on loan. He's got one of what is just 8 goals on the season. Tied for 26th in USL in goals for, as you mentioned, dead last. -11 goal differential as they've given up 19 goals against early on in the season.
Right, most in the league. And, you know, as I was looking back to the games they've played this year, they've given up 4 and 5 goals in the first 15 minutes of play. And many of the other goals they've given up have been in the final 15. So getting on them early for San Antonio, to put them under pressure, force them to you know, cause turnovers near their goal, and get the shots off. I mean, this keeper has saved more than any other keeper in the league, but that's not necessarily a good statistic. It means they give up a lot of shooting opportunities.
Fabian Serta was one of 5 players on this Tulsa roster a year ago that played here at Toyota Field in the conference quarterfinal matchup, won by San Antonio FC 2-1 on an Ever Guzman penalty kick that was scored in the 4th minute of stoppage time in the second half to give San Antonio FC the victory. Harris Gee, in fact, who is FC, had to play from behind in that match, something they didn't find themselves doing very often a year ago. Scored first in 20 of their matches a season ago. They're certainly the aggressor. Trying to duplicate that here in the opening minutes tonight at home. Sonny Guadarrama, as he works it to the outside and trying to intend that pass before it was picked off, looking for Jose Escalante, who spent the last 2 seasons with Rio Grande Valley FC.
You know, Guadarrama's one of those players that we didn't mention in the pregame as far as new additions to the club. But he is a tremendous engine, and he doesn't want to play backwards. He wants to get a ball, turn, and put pressure on that defense. And, you know, he's got 12 shots, leads the team in that. So he's a guy you've got to find tonight because he's going to put that type of pressure on Tulsa's defense.
Greg Cochran has played more games in San Antonio's history than any player on the club. Tonight is his 74th match for the 27-year-old. Played collegiately at Louisville. Guadarrama along the outside touchline. Approaches the box, delivers one, and nearly skirted past Fabian Cerda. He was able to get back with the ball.
I'll tell you what opened that up for the attacking end was that overlapping run we saw around Escalante. He drew and froze the defense, and that allowed our runner to get in and for a great service, very dangerous service.
Cochran had 3 assists 2 seasons ago with San Antonio FC. Tonight it's the right back, in fact, Darnell King, who leads the club, 3 assists. He has assisted in 3 of San Antonio FC's last 4 matches.
Yeah, that's a side of speed and explosiveness with King and Omar Gordon. I mean, that's not the side that you want to be playing if you're a left back or a left midfielder, because you're chasing these guys all night long.
Escalante couldn't keep it alive. Escalante, 7 goals in 2 seasons, 37 games with Rio Grande Valley FC. Also appeared in 6 games with Houston Dynamo, Rio's parent club. San Antonio FC bringing on not only some good USL experience, but Major League Soccer experience in the offseason with Escalante and Mikey Lopez, who just got his first touch there a moment ago.
I think that's a vital piece for San Antonio, is to get Lopez and Pekka on the ball. These are players with great technical ability, great possession ability, and even though you're anxious, you see a team that's given up a lot of goals right now, don't force it. It's not going to happen right away, but get your possession game going so that you can build a chance and start to control the play.
You talked about formation for Tulsa when a coach is desperate, trying to try different things, and tonight going 3 in the back. Is that trying to push the envelope offensively a little bit, do you think?
You know, I think that with 1 forward, that San Antonio is playing in most cases. I mean, Guadarrama is always coming back like we're seeing now, and therefore it leaves 1. So 3 are very capable. That allows you to add an extra player in the midfield, and that's maybe where we're seeing the disruption.
Here's a chance, and San Antonio FC is on the board in the opening minutes as it's Omar Gordon for the 1-0 lead.
Great anticipation by Omar to be sitting in there, waiting for something to come his way, and he did a great job with that touch.
So just as you said, San Antonio FC needing to get on the attack early. Great service from the outside by Cochran, and an easy finish for Omar Gordon as that one got through to him off the crossbar and in.
And this is the interesting part for teams, is you score the early goal like this, as we talked about, that Tulsa's given up early goals. But you can't take your foot off the pedal right now. This is the time you go high pressure, force them into another mistake. You know their heads are down. They haven't won all year. They give up a tremendous number of goals. This is the time to break them. Let's get right back after them.
That's Omar Gordon's 2nd goal in 17 matches with San Antonio FC. Joined the club in August a year ago after playing in the Gold Cup with Jamaica. Made, of course, that surprising run to the Gold Cup final before falling to Team USA. He had a teammate on that club with him, did Omar Gordon, and Michael Binns, who's not in the 11 tonight for Tulsa, but Binns also played in 5 Gold Cup matches as well.
Right. Jamaica is producing great players. They're all tremendous athletes, and let's face it, in any league, if you've got 2-3 players that have pace and explosiveness, it makes a big difference in stretching a defense and opening up the game for your midfield to advance, to create the scoring opportunities you need to get the goals you need.
Ryan Rashandel, the San Antonio FC captain this season. Rashandel's story, of course, has really been something to marvel the last couple of years, as he has played so many roles for this organization. He has served coaching the academy, which has come a long way in 3 years. He has been upstairs here in the broadcast booth, and now he is the starting center back for San Antonio FC, as Greg Cochran able to weave his way into the attacking third with Sonny Guadarrama and Jose Escalante. Delivered to the top of the box and cleared away by Claudio Munoz. Again from the outside, Escalante, and this service is deflected back out. And on the counter attack, here comes Tulsa.
And that's what I mentioned earlier, is always be ready for the counter. I like teams, and Barcelona does this, is a 3+1 ratio at this point in the game. Because as you attack, one of your wing backs is pushing up, one of your center midfielders are pushing up, but leave 3 defenders and 1 holding midfielder to make sure you're in a position. That's enough players in position to slow down and stop a counterattack.
Vukovic stripped of the ball. San Antonio FC once again on the attack. Gordon getting one through that was deflected, and unable to get under it was the 19-year-old Alex Bruce, who scored his first career professional goal and his first career start here at Toyota Field 2 weeks ago. Bruce, who played at Tompkins High School outside of Houston, and also with the Houston Texans SC Academy Club that won an under-17, under-18 national championship a year ago, tonight making his 3rd consecutive start.
You know, analytics don't win games. Goals win games. But when I look at the crossing historically over the first games of the season, is San Antonio only has 22 crosses, and for the kind of pace they have, that number should be higher. But more importantly, only 22% of those crosses have gone into the dangerous area, meaning an area in front of the goal that we can attack and have a potential goal out of. But the start of this game, with the number of crosses we put in, every single cross has been dangerous. So that's a great sign. When you have closer to 50% in dangerous areas on the cross, you're going to have multiple goal games. And if you look at the last few games we've played against Tulsa, we're always in double figures on goals. Not double figures, but getting 2 or 3.
San Antonio FC outscoring Tulsa 12-3 in their 5 regular season matchups over 2 years. As Cochran delivers one to the top of the 6, and Fabian Serta will sky to get this one. Serta was excellent a year ago. He was tied for 4th in the USL clean sheets with 9. He was 5th in the league with saves, 86. He's just not gotten a lot of help from his back 4 or back 3 in this case tonight. And not a lot of offense either for the 29-year-old veteran, native of Santiago, Chile.
Well, you know, this is, as you talk about giving up so many goals, we can talk about, is it the keeper? Is he not quality enough? Or is it the back 4 that they're not unified enough? But the fact is, defending is a team concept. And when you can get 11 guys behind the ball, playing very close to each other, as we say, very compact, then you shouldn't be giving up that many shots, unless your team is just not a ball-winning team. You can put lots of players behind the ball, but if no one steps and tackles or disrupts or get in the way, then obviously you're going to give up the kind of goals that they're giving up.
Well, the 2 former teammates, Gordon and Vukovic, collide for the first time tonight.
I've seen that in many practices. It's great to see tonight.
Spent time together in Indy 11. Where my partner for the evening coached the last 2 years. He's been coaching for a long time.
Some would say too long. There have been a lot of stops on the road, including San Antonio here. Love the city, and it's a great soccer town.
First American to coach in Iceland as well.
Iceland, India, Guatemala, a few places. I've had the great opportunity to represent the United States.
Pleasure to have you on the telecast this evening. And San Antonio FC already ahead 1-0 on the goal by Omar Gordon. His first of the year. Gordon, who has filled in on that wing spot in the place of Chris Tierpak, who departed the team a few weeks ago after their game in Fresno, and he's done an excellent job on that right side. Claudio Munoz trying to track this down there with Gordon, and Gordon will learn himself throwing.
Yeah, Vukovic came in very physically hard on Gordon. No love lost there.
Darnell King trying to keep this one alive. And it's Pekka for Escalante. Gets under it on the left foot, but serves it well over goal.
Wing midfielders, both Gordon and Escalante, are putting themselves in scoring positions tonight. They're not staying in wide positions, waiting for the play to find them. They're getting in and attacking the goal, and that's why you're seeing shots coming off their feet.
A couple of number changes you may be seeing if you're watching San Antonio FC for the first time this year. Pekka, who wore 6 a year ago, now wearing 8 this season, and Ryan Rashandel, who wore 25 a year ago, this year is wearing number 11. San Antonio FC will earn themselves a free kick here. It's nearly through the first quarter hour of the match. Omar Gordon, the opening goal off the bar past Fabian Serta and in San Antonio FC on the board first. It is the 3rd time this year that San Antonio FC has scored the opening goal. They went their first 7 matches, Tim, without scoring first. Very uncommon for a Darren Powell coach team.
Yeah, that's true, but I think they had a lot of changes, and I talked to Darren earlier in the year, and he was saying that they just haven't found the chemistry. I mean, it's about 11 players working together. It's about finding the right matchups, for example, with King on the right back, overloading off of Omar. They're starting to find that combination to play together. Obviously, Pekka is playing with Lopez instead of Castillo tonight. But again, you need time for these players to understand each other's nuances, weaknesses, and strengths, and where they want the ball played. And the team is finally gelling in that direction, which is why you're starting to see the results.
It was an unbelievable year a season ago for San Antonio FC. They were tied for 2nd in the USL, 62 points, tied for 3rd in wins. So we'll get a handball violation here. San Antonio FC will earn themselves a free kick. And beyond that, for San Antonio FC, it was the defense and the goalkeeping. They led the USL, fewest goals conceded in 24 and 15 clean sheets over the course of the year. So it was a monumental season from the back end. You talked about Ibeagha, but that man, Diego Restrepo, well, he did a lot too.
Golden Glove written all over it, and he's already made 3 teams of the week in the USL. You know, tremendous saves he's making. It's his composure, his leadership. He makes the adjustments. He's not a particularly tall keeper to dominate in the air, but his ability to cut angles when the play gets close and get low and cat-like has been really a great feature for the club.
Guadarrama chips it into the box and just a little bit beyond Darnell King. And got a little bit of a love tap back from Fabian Serta as he made his way upfield. So one area San Antonio FC has yet to convert on this season is a set piece from the outside. Something that was a bit of a struggle for them last year too. Did get a penalty kick goal from Rafa Castillo in Vegas a couple weeks ago. Rafa's 10th career goal with San Antonio FC. No player has scored more goals for this club than Rafa Castillo.
He is an engine, and what a great player. You can use him in so many ways. I think it's smart against this team to give him a rest. He is a senior player, and giving a start to Lopez, who is equally talented in his possession and the ability to play the ball around, is only going to help save Castillo for big games down the road.
Guadarrama trying to deliver that one back into the area, and this one was well defended this time. That's Wyatt Omsberg, a 22-year-old, wearing number 22, was the 15th overall pick by Minnesota United in this past Major League Soccer draft, was All-Ivy Defensive Player of the Year for 2 straight years playing at Dartmouth University. Omsberg making his 3rd start of the season for Tulsa tonight.
You talk about not having a goal yet on a free kick. You know, clubs, you know, are very lucky if they have a specialist. They don't come around that often. When you've got a free kick, they can bend it like Beckham or put it on a particular spot for a player to crash. But remember, is that if the service is good, the serve doesn't score. It's players having a greater desire to get to that ball than the opponent. It is a 50-50 opportunity that the defenders have an equal chance at. So for me, it all comes down to desire. And if you're flat-footed and that defender's up, then he's got a greater desire for you. if you are equally high in the air challenging for it, you have equal desire. It's not until you are up first, your arms spread, and showing that you have a greater desire than your opponent that free kicks start to pay off.
Nice play by Escalante, wins the ball away from Omsberg. Back into the box, and the save by Fabian Serta on that near side post. You see the creativity, though, and the skillfulness of Jose Escalante, the native of Honduras.
You know, when Billy Forbes was playing here, Billy used to get in that position all the time, almost at will. But Billy finally found the way to pick out that cutback ball for players coming into the box late, because the defense is going to collapse on the line of the server. And therefore, areas like the penalty mark to cut a ball back to is maybe the better choice there, because the keeper is going to be covering his near post. That's what he's trained to do.
Adrian Giacino on the right back to Pereski. And Tulsa now will try to push forward here into the attacking third, but the flag goes up on Gamble. And, well, not surprising, Coach, with the team that is in search of their first win. They're a little bit out of sorts in the attacking third here in the first 20 minutes tonight.
Well, there's confidence issues, there's hesitancy, players a little bit nervous that if they overcommit into the attack, that they're not going to get back in time, and with the number of goals they've given up, they're just trying to hold their positions and keep this game close, hoping they can get an equalizer as the match goes on.
Gamble to the outside, tried to go to Pereski, taken away by Pekka. You talk about an engine. Pekka's really the engine in the midfield for San Antonio FC the last couple of seasons, but they concede possession here as Guy takes it to the outside, service to the top of the 6-yard box as Rochandel's there to clear it out of danger.
Look, nothing's better than Brazilian feet, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and Pekka brings that. He gives calm. So did Castillo in that same type of role. It's just important that either Pekka's job is to always go back and link the possession, making it easy for defenders to play out, or Lopez has got to be that guy. And sometimes both, if you're under pressure, to be able to go back and make distribution and possession easy.
Pekka will go again in space. Now Alex Bruce brushes off Omsberg. Bruce gives it a go. Big save by Fabian Serta with the outstretched right hand.
Tremendous effort. That second ball that he just kept forcing to push in front of him, and a great shot forcing that keeper to make a big save.
Since Alex Bruce was inserted in the starting 11, he's had 6 shots, 4 of them on target, and he earned San Antonio FC their second corner kick of the match. As Guadarrama will take it, right-footed in-swinger. Cochran from 20 yards out. Mikey Lopez, and well over goal.
You know, this is really, for me, the wing play that has been inconsistent in the previous games with San Antonio. Looks great tonight. Looks confident, greatly improved. Service is on the money. It's just looking for more goals. I think that the question that has still got to be asked is who is going to be the man up front? Who is going to be the go-to guy when you need that goal? And, you know, Guzman has an injury. He's been playing consistently. You have tonight, you know, an effort from our center forward, but really this new player, Murray, is going to be very interested, because in 2017 for Rio Grande Valley, one of our rivals, he had 7 goals, which means he's shown the ability in this league to get some goals, and it'll be interesting to see if he comes in tonight to get more minutes and see if he can gain confidence playing within the group.
Kyle Murphy was just signed to a contract by San Antonio FC a couple of weeks ago, made his debut with the club last Saturday night, ironically down in the valley against his former team, Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. As Omar Gordon off to the races, and he was trying to lead Sonny Guadarrama, deflects over to the outside back, Darnell King. Guadarrama again will bring it to the inside. Good defensive play there by Tulsa. Will force Sonny back out top. And Guadarrama is thrown down in a foul.
Sonny is just relentless. Every touch is forward. He's never looking to play back. And if he loses the ball, the first principle of defense is immediate chase, and he is determined to win it back and get things moving back in the attack. Great addition to the club.
Dangerous free kick for San Antonio FC after that foul by Josh Morton, another 22-year-old rookie on the back end. So maybe not surprising that they struggled, Tim, on the back end. They played two 22-year-old rookies in the back of playing their first year of pro soccer.
Right. Yeah, experience is everything at this level.
So you got Guadarrama, the right-footed in-swinger, with Escalante, left-footed swinger over the ball. We'll see how San Antonio FC plays this. Wall of four in front. Guadarrama, and couldn't clear the wall. Lopez and Serta come out to bring it down.
Again, good going for the far side of the box. A little bit short, but it was good that they reset. They didn't force it in. They played it wide to Lopez and were able to get a good service, and that's going to pay off as the night goes on.
Alex Bruce unable to get under the ball, delivered upfield by Greg Cochran. Back to Young wide. Amsberger will send it forward.
I think Tulsa's having their issues just not moving well. You look at the backs having a ball like that, their only choice being able to play a long service, really to no run, to nobody, because there's no one that is active enough to help them build their possession. So they've got to start having 3-4 players moving to the ball and start simplifying their touches and trying to get a possession game going. Otherwise, they're not going to create the attacks to get back in this game.
Gordon concedes possession, and Tulsa trying to push here on the counter. They'll work it outside to Paris Guy. He had an overlapping runner, and Adrian Jacino couldn't get him the ball, but he does earn the foul. Our center referee tonight is Rami Tuchan, along with John Dearman and Tony Obis. Stefania Estrada is the fourth official on the sideline.
You know, I said I was going to have fun watching a couple of former players, Vukovic and Omar. And Vukovic hit Omar in the back about 6-7 minutes ago. And ever since then, Omar's tucked in, not playing against him directly. Almost like a message has been sent that if you come this way, Vukovic will go at you again. But nice Omar's ball. Finding space.
Nice ball there from Paris Guy, was looking to get the final touch over to Joaquin Rivas, who just couldn't get there. Select is the official soccer ball of the United Soccer League for the latest Select products and special offers. Go to selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
You see the two center backs going wide on distribution, but Tulsa's read that, stepping up, trying to take their ability to distribute the ball to feet and forcing him into that 50-50 upfield.
Cochran on a daylight on that left flank. Cochran's service into the area. Amsberg clears it back out. Sonny Guadarrama chip it in, far post. And this will be a foul on Omar Gordon.
Yeah, but I still like the way the wingers are coming inside, opening up the outside for the overlapping back like Cochran and King on the other side. It's very difficult for the defenders to find their marks because they're coming in from all different angles to create numbers in the box.
Coach, no surprise you've nailed the matchup for the night tonight. Vukovic and Gordon, they've had quite a few run-ins here in the first 26 minutes.
I don't think it's over either. I think we'll see a lot more of it. But I will say Omar has been dangerous enough going forward that you notice Vukovic has been pulled out of the style that he likes to play. Normally you would see Vukovic pushing up wide on every attack, and you're not seeing that. Now that could be instruction by the coach to say, first half, let's sit in, make sure our back four is not separated, make sure we don't overextend ourselves. I think we'll probably see more out of that in the second half. But the first half certainly is going to the initiative of Omar and King pushing forward, keeping Vukovic in check.
Omar Gordon only played 12 matches a year ago with San Antonio FC, but he was fourth on the club, 25 shots. He just those 12 matches.
Well, you know, 3 years ago at Montego Bay United, which is one of the professional teams in the Red Stripe League in Jamaica, he actually led the entire league in goal scoring with over 20 goals at it. So he has the ability and qualities to be a goal scorer and an assist guy. There are some inconsistencies in his game and the possession, helping keep it, but around the box, he puts it into different gear. He's got a different mentality in there that will go after the goals and assists and becomes a dangerous piece of the puzzle.
Darnell King looking in Alex Bruce's direction, and San Antonio FC earned themselves a throw-in. Darnell King came over from Tampa Bay, played that right back that was predominantly occupied by Ben Noonan a year ago, and King has really found his form. You talked about him and Ryan Felix combining over the last couple of weeks to really help San Antonio FC on this 4-match unbeaten streak, and King has really been instrumental as well in some of the offensive output as well too for San Antonio FC the last couple of weeks.
You know, I think if you were to look at the analytics of successful passing and percentage of successful passing, is Felix has been amongst the best in the San Antonio team. So, you know, Restrepo clearly is looking to play Felix first and let him start to build and let him help distribute and find Pekka through there. So he's been instrumental in keeping a sense of calm and starting the play successfully for the club.
Munoz sending it upfield. San Antonio FC pushing back on here and also looking for the foul, but we play on. It's Fabian Serta here. Nearly a half hour into the match, San Antonio FC with an opening goal in the 7th minute from Omar Gordon. They have been so dangerous here at home over 3 seasons, 17 wins, just 6 losses. That's a testament to home field advantage. Jacino, and can't connect there with Paris Guy. And more importantly, Tim, they're even tougher to come back on here. In fact, over the last 2 years, the only match they've lost when scoring first was the Western Conference semifinal a year ago against OKC Energy FC.
Right, I mean, this crowd has been a great supporter. You can feel the energy tonight. When you're the home team, that plays such a big part. You get that early goal, the confidence locks in, and then just stay organized and play smart possession, knowing the other team is going to end up having to take risk down the road. And when they do, that second or third goal is going to come through counterattacks, you know, as the game evolves.
He with a throw in, Rivas into the area, and a chance blocked out of harm's way is Josh Morton. Trying to get under this one here for an equalizing finish, and instead will turn into Tulsa's first corner of the match.
It's interesting how San Antonio has moved everyone into the box, not leaving anyone high to keep the counterattack or a player that can put pressure on clearance. Something I've not seen from them before. Very safe, secure.
Rivas to the back post, but Restrepo is there to play it easily. Well, Diego Restrepo, now 30. A year ago, it was in February. He had no offers. He had nowhere to play. He thought about hanging him up. Boy, is San Antonio FC happy that he didn't. He has now gone 17, 7, and 13 in his 38 matches with the club. As Lopez tries to send one to the top of the 6-yard box, and that's cleared away.
Actually, at that particular time, when I was coaching Indy, we were looking at him and having conversation. So you beat us to him, and it was a good move, a great signing. You know, and at 30 years old, I mean, we had John Bush, who played for numerous Columbus. He just retired with Columbus Crew. But John, you know, was 40 years old, kept himself fit, and still had 2 tremendous years with Indy 11. He's 30 years old. He's at the prime as a goalkeeper. He's got 6, 7, 8 years still ahead of him. So it's a great guy to have with the club. Great character.
And if you remember the story for Diego a year ago, he was signed as the backup keeper after what was a great 2016 campaign for Matt Cardoni. As King brings this one into the box. Back to the inside, waiting for support, works it back out for Omar Gordon. Chip and was looking in Alex Bruce's direction, but Fabian Serta will get there first. But going back to how Diego Restrepo became the keeper for San Antonio FC, Matt Cardoni got injured early in the season, and that forced Restrepo to come on in and play the final 3/4 of the season. And of course, San Antonio FC, even with Cardoni in that, they were excellent. Cardoni a year ago had put forth what was even a fine season by his numbers, going with 3 clean sheets in his 5 matches.
Well, you know, you've got a history of great goalkeepers here. We were talking about the outstanding staff that Darren has, the coach. You know, Juan La Madrid I had here back in the San Antonio Scorpion days as an assistant. He's been over at Trinity, where he had Matt as a national youth player and college player, developing him. He's a believer in him. And every keeper that has come in contact with the training of Juan, he's got a relationship. He builds confidence and has them always playing at a very high, sharp level. So we can expect great things no matter who's in goal for San Antonio.
Jacino with a throw in for Tulsa. 34th minute, San Antonio FC with a 1-0 lead. Not a ton of offensive chances tonight for Tulsa, despite being down 1-0. The Roughnecks, despite the fact not having a victory before their loss last Saturday against Phoenix Rising FC, had run off 5 consecutive draws. So it has not been a complete loss of a stretch here for the Roughnecks, but again, still every night look at the standings and they see that 0 in the win column, and you can talk about confidence, coach. I mean, that's got to be the one right there. That's always going to play mind games with you.
Winning solves all the issues. You know, you can have trouble in the clubhouse, poor chemistry, maybe your lineup's not balanced or maybe not talented enough, but you know, a win for them right now can change their season. For San Antonio, though, this is one of the biggest games of the year for them, because you know they're sitting in 9th place, 1 point away from a playoff spot, and actually 3 points tonight can put them into the 6th spot based on the other results. So this is a game they have to stay very, very focused. They cannot let up for a moment and let a team like Tulsa, even if they don't deserve a chance based on creation, the game always gives an opponent some chance as the game goes on. And so just stay alert, you know, mark tight, play hard, and keep the energy flowing.
This is the second match for both these clubs this week, as they both made their debuts in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday. San Antonio FC traveling to Midland, earning a 4-0 victory against the Midland Sockers. This is tapped back by Rashandel, Diego Restrepo, and back outside for Cochran. Tulsa looked like they were going to pick up their first win of the year. They were playing FC Wichita. We're leading 3-2, and ironically, it was a former San Antonio FC striker, Frank Tayu, scored twice in the final 10 minutes of the match and gave Wichita the 4-3 win, eliminating Tulsa from the U.S. Open Cup. San Antonio FC will host a 3rd-round matchup coming up on Wednesday night against Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. So it'll be another test for San Antonio in the Open Cup as they look to advance to the 4th round. It will only be the 2nd Open Cup match in 3 years that they've played here at Toyota Field.
Well, in Colorado Switchbacks, they're coached by a former player of mine, Steve Trichu. He played with me in the Colorado Rapids and Tampa Bay Mutiny in the old MLS days. He also played in the 1990 World Cup as a center back. But, you know, Colorado is the team that's got 14 points, 1 point ahead of us tonight. So it's not just the Open Cup game, but that's a team you've got to get above, you know, and put them behind you and keep them behind.
Mikey Lopez with some space, and now outside Escalante. Trying to sneak behind there, Sonny Guadarrama, who's really played that number 10 role very well for San Antonio FC, as Escalante wins the ball away. Turned over, however, as Tulsa will come back upfield. Mikey Lopez also there in the vicinity too. Pekka will return it to Darnell King. There's Guadarrama. Lopez, nice touch outside. Guadarrama looking in Alex Bruce's direction and headed out of danger. Back outside again. What a nice run by Guadarrama into the box. Out by the byline again, looking for Alex Bruce. Cleared away. San Antonio FC still under the ball. Pekka. That's settled it, however, and now Tulsa trying to find a little bit of counter, but Nice job there by Ryan Felix as he stepped in front of Michael Gamble to win the ball away.
Yeah, it's great service again, over and over. And I'm very impressed with San Antonio's service tonight to create scoring opportunities. For Tulsa, when you have a team that is not possessing the ball well, then sometimes you have to make an adjustment in your tactics. Too often we see one striker up, and if he gets the ball, he's got no one to play with. And right now they need to leave a second player, play with partnership up there, and play a little bit more direct, because again, your possession game is not doing the trick for you. Give yourself a few chances with a more direct pass, and make sure you've got partnership, so if one gets it, he's got another player to play to.
Well, some miscommunication in the box there, but Felix was able to clear between the two center backs there, Rashandel and Ryan Felix. Now Omsberg, he's in trouble with pressure coming from Guadarrama, makes the challenge there on Guadarrama to win the ball away, and now this will be a foul on Sonny and a free kick here for Tulsa.
I love those fouls, though, because this is something in the world game. You see it with some of the top clubs in the world, but it's called counter pressing. It's as soon as you lose the ball, you're putting that ball back under pressure, trying to win it. And sometimes in the process, you are giving up a foul. But what that's also doing is giving your teammates time to recover and get into a good defensive spot after they've already opened up in an offensive spot. Some teams counter pressure with just the man who lost it. Some will use the 3 closest, some will use 5, some will use an entire team. Something that takes great coordination, but Sonny does it naturally. I don't think anyone's telling him to play that way. He's just got a great engine and determination to win a ball back.
Sonny Guadarrama is a native of Austin. He went to Campbell University, but he played 10 years in the Mexican leagues, primarily in the 2nd division. Long career there before signing with San Antonio FC in the offseason. Should have had his first goal 2 weekends ago here against Fresno, but it was ruled an own goal after it went off the keeper, Kyle Rainish, and into the back of the net after Sonny just blasted one from about 30 yards out, drilled off the crossbar, but unfortunately for him, went off the back of Rainish and ended up in the back of the net for an own goal. Scored and turns back into the area. And now we'll bring it back outside. There's good support defensively there for Tulsa. Guadarrama. Here's Lopez. Alex Bruce now. Slip back to Cochran. Cochran. And gives it a go wide of goal.
And just a little bit more patience by Cochran. Shooting angle wasn't great. I think there was enough space behind the defender chasing him down that he could have taken another step, get to the inline, cut it back, or through the box.
Coach, though, this has been waves and waves of pressure for San Antonio FC here in the first 45 minutes tonight.
Yeah, it is, and you know, even though there are only 5 minutes left, I think the fans feel it. The second goal is coming.
Joaquin Rivas, Tulsa's all-time leading goal scorer, track this ball down right by the byline. Keeps it alive. Rashandel, though, keeps it moving out to Mikey Lopez.
Good target play there to keep possession under pressure.
Building out of the back, yeah.
Now, target play is vital because Guzman does this very well when he's been in these games, is that it invites the midfielders forward. That possession allows wing backs to extend themselves forward as well. If the target place gets disrupted, midfielders can't advance. Now they're back on their heels defending again, so it was very well done.
Jonathan Levin. Brandon Cervania, on loan from FC Dallas, 19-year-old, first match for Tulsa here tonight. Goes to the back post looking for Giacino and just couldn't connect. Adrian Giacino. Brandon Cervania, who been in the FC Dallas Academy a couple of years. They also have another FC Dallas Academy product that's featured in their 18 tonight, and that is the 17-year-old Jesus Ferreira, who we may see in the second half. He is the second youngest goal scorer in the history of Major League Soccer. He scored 16 years, 161 days.
Imagine being 16 years old, entering a major league team with some of the world stars that are playing in that league right now.
The youngest goal scorer in Major League Soccer, and no surprise, Freddie Adu, who scored as a 14-year-old, playing in his first season with DC United. Freddie's now playing in the United Soccer League with Las Vegas, and still only 28.
I think he feels like he's been around longer than I have. Well, Freddie has his qualities, and admittedly, America made him an instant soccer star at a time that we're searching for stars, and he did pretty well considering he had to face that at such a young age. It's great to see that he's still with the game.
Escalante, Cochran, San Antonio FC trying to close the first half strong. 1-0 lead on Omar Gordon's first goal this season, second goal with the club in the 7th minute. And a little cute with the ball there. San Antonio FC working back, and really a dangerous leg there by Rochandle, but he was able to avoid a foul.
It's a great service by Rochandle. I've been very impressed with his consistency, both defensively and on the ball. He's part of that back four that we talked about, why the club is starting to find victory and consistency, because that back four has been together with Restrepo, and he's very much a part of it. Got to move the ball quickly so there is truly a weak side with advantage. Seems like we're just stopping the ball, holding it, and that gives Tulsa a chance not just to recover, but to basically walk into good positions even once the switch is made. So keeping the tempo higher is going to be very important to break their numbers down and get that second goal.
Escalante, San Antonio FC's third corner, Circle K corner kick of the match there. Nothing came of it, and now Diego Restrepo will have the goal kick here. Tonight's Military Appreciation Night match is presented by Toyota, and San Antonio FC looking to go into the halftime with a 1-0 lead. You see the military well represented, whether it's Military Appreciation Night or just any old Saturday night here at Toyota Field. They wear their colors strong, and they wear their colors proud.
You know, every coach, as the game goes on, you make small tweaks, little adjustments, and we're starting to see Tulsa stay with two forwards like we talked about, so there's partnership up there. But we're looking at a back four and a four midfield playing in two lines of four, so it's a stack of 8 trying to defend and win the ball without asking as much of the defensive work from the strikers like we saw earlier in the game. And that puts them in a position to still have enough players to win the ball, but a couple of guys up top that they can knock a ball up to and hopefully find a flick or a quick one-on-one or a through pass that gives them a chance to get the equalizer. So we've got to make sure our marks are very tight on those two strikers.
Injured Omar Gordon down on the pitch. Coach, that's not surprising to me, because I felt they were going to have to put a fourth back on the back four back, just trying to absorb the pressure that San Antonio FC has delivered here in the first half. They seemed to, with 3, that it was just opening up the outside way too much for players like Waterama, King, and Escalante.
Right, and if you play with 3, and even on Omar's side, if Vukovic was pushed up higher as more of a wing midfielder, Omar's got a field day, and what that does is as soon as he makes that run down the flank, one of those 3 center backs have got to go out and they get stretched, and now you're asking 3 players to cover the width of the field, and they're going to be opened up and broken apart. I like Omar's hair. He has added a twist of red to stay with the team colors. That's brilliant.
Kind of got turned inside out there. Omar Gordon trying to shake this off here and avoid landing on the Methodist Healthcare injury report tonight for San Antonio FC for the next game. And tonight's injury report, and there you see it, Ever Guzman and Connor Presley have both been out since the 27th of April. And Cesar Elizondo was initially going to be on the injury report, but good news was that he was actually taken off right before the match tonight, and he's in fact in the 18 for Darren Powell and available for substitution.
That's great, because he's a great attacking option on the left side, right, and can also play up top.
So Gordon is going to be worked on while we play on here for, I'm sure, just a few more seconds. Fairly clean match here in the first half. No yellow cards. Somewhat surprising. These two clubs have actually had a lot of yellow cards. San Antonio FC's tied for 5th in the USL play, 23 yellow cards, and Tulsa's got 24 of them.
Nothing like physical football. But it's a part of the game, and if you're not a physical team and the other team is, that's their advantage. So at least match the physicality.
That'll take us to halftime here at Toyota Field. Omar Gordon, who will end the first half with an injury, but is able to walk it off. Good sign. He has the lone goal for San Antonio FC tonight. In the 7th minute, finishing off a Greg Cochran service. San Antonio FC at the half. A 1-0 lead over Tulsa Roughnecks FC here on this Military Appreciation Night at Toyota Field. We're back with our halftime festivities when we return on Fox Sports Southwest.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Providing the fuel to take you there, no matter where there is. Top-tier quality fuels from Valero keep your engine running cleaner, better, and longer.
Little ideas can turn into big dreams. Big dreams require careful planning and the right partner. A partner dedicated to helping you take care of your employees, protect your business, and plan for the future. It's sometimes overwhelming. It's often exciting. It's your story, and we can help. SWBC.
A couple of moves inside the area.
Curls it in. Oh, what a strike from the captain! The Ram is in! Jesus Enriquez!
Drogba blast! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba!
Stutter step, Cavaluzzo!
Saved by Meisel!
Into the penalty area for three, Frater! And a fantastic save produced by Matt Van Oekel. Incredible save!
Kelly from distance! And Meisel, excellent work.
Good ball to the back post. Gordon Wiles there, and what a strike from the German.
Zubak has a break on goal. He's looking to put the Galaxy on top 1-0, and he does. Ethan Zubak.
Looking to cross, does, low cross, punched away.
Takes a shot. Now battle of the box. Shot it in!
Get back to the header, score! Cross into the middle for Williamson.
Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel invites you to come and play. Over 3,300 slots, a poker room, and live bingo. Join the new Players Club and play your way to greater rewards. Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel.
Come and play.
Hey, what do you think that sign says?
Eat more What is Well, it's the start of a word. Something like eat more cheese. Or eat more chili.
Chocolate. Eat more chocolate.
No, it's chowder.
Chimichangas.
Cheesecake.
Chewing gum. It could be chewing gum.
That's not how you spell chicken.
Chicken Minis, the Chick-fil-A chicken you love, for breakfast.
When it needs to be ultra exciting, high-flying, non-stop action, San Antonio FC Soccer's got you covered. When it needs to be high-performing, hard-working, high-tech, super safe, built for comfort, and surprisingly affordable, Holt Cat has got you covered. With best-in-class cat-heavy equipment, engines, generators, and more, plus legendary service and support, and the largest parts inventory and distribution network in Texas. Kick it into high gear with Holt Cat.
I've been an HEB truck driver for over 40 years and driven more than 3 million miles. I've seen a lot of wide open spaces and beautiful Texas places. It's the best job ever. All 700 of our friendly truck drivers are committed to getting fresh products to the store every single day. In fact, HEB drivers make more than 12,000 deliveries every week because Texas families need us, so we always deliver. This is the Delivered Fresh department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
Explore the great outdoors with Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel's Campers and Cash Giveaway. Win a new teardrop trailer or up to $1,000 cash. Earn entries now through May 28th. Visit LuckyEagleTexas.com for details.
Come and play.
Your chance to win this VIP experience, including a behind-the-scenes stadium tour. Don't miss out on this memorable experience.
For the third time this season, San Antonio FC is on the board first. Omar Gordon's goal in the 7th minute as the home side up 1-0. Welcome back upstairs to the broadcast booth along with the coach, Tim Hankerson. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us here this evening on Fox Sports Southwest. Coach, that first half, I think if you're Darren Powell, exactly what you hoped for. An early goal and then continuing the pressure on a club that obviously has certainly some issues with confidence right now in Tulsa.
Yeah, there's no question. Again, we need to keep moving the ball a little bit quicker. You can see a pattern of play tactically with San Antonio where the wing midfielder comes inside, opening up the run by the wing back to the outside. And that's exactly Cochran getting the cross, and here's the other wing midfielder coming inside the box. So you see that happening on both sides, and that puts great numbers in the box, very difficult to pick up everybody. Omar did a great job keeping that ball down and finding the back of the net.
Matchup we've watched a lot throughout the night. Gordon-Vukovic. Gordon wins that one as that ball got through Vukovic. Here, look at the numbers, and just talking about that pressure and dominance for San Antonio FC, it's evident in the first half numbers as well.
It is. The crosses have been spot on tonight. I've been very impressed with the consistency of putting the ball in a dangerous area, a goal-scoring area. What we've not done well enough is our shot selection. We've seen Escalante come in at an off angle and put it in the side netting. We've seen Cochran do the same. We've just got to be a little bit more patient to pick out a better quality shooting opportunity.
Despite all the pressure and dominance for San Antonio tonight, it's a one-goal game. And for Tulsa and David Vaudril, that's really what he has to remind his club right now at halftime, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Tulsa, you're sitting okay, making adjustments at halftime, saying 1-0. We've been there before. Matter of fact, they've been there a lot. But, I'm sure they're going to come out with some adjustments. Very important for San Antonio to make sure that they refocus in the locker room and come out with the same start in the second half that we saw in the first half.
We'll take a look at scores from around the rest of the Western Conference tonight in the USL when we return. San Antonio FC with a 1-0 lead on this Military Appreciation Night here at Toyota Field on Fox Sports Southwest.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Corner stores are proudly becoming Circle K, home of the Polar Pop Cup. That's right, you can enjoy any size Polar Pop Cup filled to the brim with your favorite flavor for just 79 cents at any corner store. Nothing stays cold longer, and the Polar Pop Cup is the best way to quench your thirst. Stay refreshed all day long for just 79 cents. Corner store, proudly becoming Circle K.
Halftime continues from Toyota Field with San Antonio FC on top 1-0. Elsewhere tonight around the USL's Western Conference, busy night, some great matchups on tap coming up later this evening, but right now San Antonio FC is trying to chase down both Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC and Swope Park Rangers to get into the playoff mix. Both those clubs are in 0-0 matches. Colorado Springs and OKC Energy in the 67th minute, and at halftime Rio Grande Valley FC on the road trying to spring an upset over Swope Park Rangers. Later tonight, you're going to get Sacramento and Phoenix, which is a great matchup at the top of the table, and some intrigue with the Real Monarchs SLC, who's having another fine season. They're going to take on Las Vegas Lights coming up later this evening as well. Second half from Toyota Field coming up when we return. San Antonio FC trying to earn the 3 points on this military appreciation night.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Corner stores are proudly becoming Circle K, home of the Polar Pop Cup. That's right, you can enjoy any size Polar Pop Cup filled to the brim with your favorite flavor for just 79 cents at any corner store. Nothing stays cold longer, and the Polar Pop Cup is the best way to quench your thirst. Stay refreshed all day long for just 79 cents. Corner store, proudly becoming Circle K.
Team starting to make their way back onto the pitch here for the second half with San Antonio FC on top 1-0 here on Fox Sports Southwest with our entire crew and the coach Tim Hankinson. I'm Dan Weiss upstairs here in the broadcast booth. Coach, let's take a look at the Western Conference standings right now here in the USL. You mentioned San Antonio FC right now on the outside of the top 8 looking in, but you know, when you get past the top 3, Real Monarchs, SLC, Phoenix, and Portland, it's very congested over about the next 10 spots or so.
It is. You know, it's very important in a season. You know, we're still at the early stages of things. Things are going to take, you know, you're going to have stretches, good stretches, stretches that don't work so well. Right now, San Antonio is having a great stretch. And you want to use this as an opportunity to build points, to push up into the top 8 as high as you possibly can. And that's why tonight's game is so vital, because 3 points tonight, depending on these other scores, you could jump from 9th to the 6th spot and keep building momentum from there. So confidence, momentum, you're in a great spot. Do the job tonight.
We'll get a substitution to start the second half. Cesar Elizondo is going to come on for Jose Escalante here. I don't want to assume injury, but that's typically what maybe you would get here maybe at the beginning of a half, especially with the way Escalante has played in this first half, other than the fact that Escalante did play Wednesday night in the Open Cup match too, and maybe you just don't want to push him a little bit too much here.
You know, we talk about the manager or the coach. It's not that you're just the coach of the team from a tactical standpoint. You're a leg manager. And so in a long, hot summer season, you have to manage these legs to make sure that you have players staying away from injuries, not risking them, getting the proper regeneration and rest, and knowing again that this is not the strongest opponent in the league. You have to keep people fresh and ready for the games ahead.
Escalante was one of the few regulars, in fact, who played in that match in Midland on Wednesday night. So it has been a lot of action for him already here this week. So Cesar Elizondo, who's, you'd think, very fresh, he appears in his 5th league match this season, coming on for the second half.
But he's also a player, you know what he's about. You know what game he brings. You know, his teammates are familiar with him.
Tulsa with a chance, quickly back into the area as Restrepo's down, but San Antonio able to clear it away.
Very dangerous opportunity. I'm really surprised that Tulsa didn't take advantage of that.
Meanwhile, here comes San Antonio back upfield and a foul from behind.
And that's what we were mentioning at halftime as well. You've got to recharge. You've got to refocus. You can't come out here thinking the game is done and over. You've got to stay sharp and alert and playing the game the way you did the first half.
Michael Gamble, who had the opportunity, was kind of fumbling the ball away after he slipped beyond Restrepo, who came out off his line to try to make the play. And instead, it'll turn now to a free kick for San Antonio FC back in the attacking third. Cochran and Sonny Guadarrama over the ball here right now. And a yellow card to Adrian Jacino in the 47th minute.
This goes back to what I was saying earlier. Who's got the greater desire to get that ball first?
Guadarrama just a little bit away from the frame of goal. That strike. Guadarrama, that was about the area where he did connect off the bar a couple of Saturdays ago against Fresno and giving San Antonio FC the 2-1 lead and eventual 2-1 victory over the Foxes that night at Toyota Field. And Cochran there setting him up without Escalante, was subbed off after the first half. But it was Tulsa who had the glorious chance right in the opening minute of the second half of Michael Gamble dancing around Restrepo, but unable to get the last touch on the ball. Now we'll get a free kick here for the Roughnecks, who have not really had much in the way of set pieces so far tonight. This is Vukovic who will take it.
He's got a great free kick, great bender with his left foot.
From distance, Vukovic going for that back post. Directed away back outside.
Yeah, that ball was spot on. I mean, our guys did a great job of getting up first and having the ball side positioning to get to it.
San Antonio FC gets under the ball and clear it out of the box. Tulsa's back on it though. And the play is ruled onside. Flag stayed down, but Joaquin Rivas couldn't bring it down.
Looked a little bit off there, but Restrepo read it well.
Mentioned Rivas is Tulsa's all-time leading scorer, 9 goals in 41 matches with the Roughnecks. You talked about Vukovic being great on those set pieces. Their captain from a year ago, Tulsa, Juan Pablo Caffa, who's now playing in Fresno. That really is his area of expertise. So we'll get a foul here on San Antonio FC.
Again, the team needs to really refocus its possession, get control of the game, make Tulsa chase you. If you look statistically at the accuracy of passing in the first half, San Antonio, every single player was over 60%, most of them in the 80%. You look at Tulsa and where their problems existed is they had 6 players that were under 60% passing accuracy, meaning half the time you're giving the ball back to the opponent. And it's hard to win games that way.
Save for Restrepo after Morton got on the end of that Vukovic set piece. And another turnover by San Antonio's Gamble works it ahead for Rivas. Rivas with a strike, and Tulsa the equalizer in the 51st minute. Joaquin Rivas, his 5th goal this season and his 10th career goal with the Roughnecks.
Again, we've come out with loss of possession too easily. You know, we've seen it right from the opening whistle of the second half. And when you give the ball away in your half, it leaves you open for counterattacks because your team is already spreading out and pushing upfield. And they didn't waste any time getting that shot. Tremendous shot, but it's a San Antonio error that shouldn't be being made at this point.
Capitalized off a turnover in the midfield. Rivas comes back with the equalizer. Coach, this has been a bit of a problem for San Antonio this year. When they do score first, they suffer these momentary lapses that allows their opponent, regardless of the way the game has flowed, to get back into the game. It happened a couple of weeks ago against Fresno as well.
Yeah, and to me, having been a coach for so many years, you really have to rely with that goal lead going into the second half on senior leadership, captainship, strong voices, getting everyone to refocus, not just as a coach, because you know the coach is saying the right things in the locker room, but it's got to translate to the field. And it just seems like the team came out and just went out to play rather than having a refocused determination to get that second goal.
In the 6th minute of the second half, almost the exact same time where San Antonio FC scored the opening goal in the opening half, the Roughnecks get the equalizer. The game is leveled at 1. Just to go back to the point against Fresno, it was the 63rd minute that Jamal Johnson scored to get the equalizer in that game. So again, kind of these opening quarter-hour lapses to start the second half for San Antonio as they're trying to get back ahead.
Yeah, no one likes to give up a goal to have to create, refocus, and energy, but I think we're going to see a higher tempo, because of that from San Antonio the rest of the way.
San Antonio FC will earn their 4th Circle K corner of the match here. Toyota Field all of a sudden a little quieter after the equalizer from Joaquin Rivas. His 5th goal with the Roughnecks this season. Sonny Guadarrama, right-footed in-swinger. Gordon, as he skied, but couldn't get under it. A strike and just wide of goal from the outside there. A take by Elizondo for his first touch here since coming on in the second half.
Yeah, he's making sure everyone remembers him. It's a good substitution. He's come in with focus and energy. That inside cut to set up that far post shot, outstanding.
Gotta be honest, Coach, took me even a moment to realize it was Cesar out there on the outside. We haven't seen him very much here over the last few weeks.
Well, now we know.
Jonathan Levin here in the midfield with Paris Guy. Cervania, the 19-year-old on loan from FC Dallas, back to Levin. And Tulsa with a little bit of momentum now after the equalizer that has leveled the match at 1 apiece. Gamble back to the outside. Crossing here for Rivas. Good touch to the outside. Morton with a strike just wide. And all of a sudden seeing these breakdowns in the back four for San Antonio that were almost non-existent in the first 45 minutes.
Well, in the first 45 minutes also, every single San Antonio player was addressing the ball defensively. They were stepping to it, putting it under pressure, forcing the Tulsa player to make a bad pass or to not find the next pass. And if you look at that sequence that we just had to defend, is that Tulsa had time on the ball at every position that it was played to, leading to a good look, a good final pass, and a shot. So we've got to refine our aggressiveness, particularly in our own half.
Zondo back into the area, but again this time it's Fabian Serta to come up with it.
See, I think this is important that we're starting to defend high. Take a more aggressive stance, get us off our heels.
Guadarrama and Elizondo trying to find a good two-man game here to start the second half. Cesar as they'll work it back to Mikey Lopez. Lopez, nice overlapping run as he finds King on the outside. King challenged to the outside of the box by Morton, who wins the ball away. Morton will push upfield for Gamble. Lopez comes back, works it away from Gamble. And the foul will be called. Darren Powell wants the card from the young Michael Gamble, but they will play on.
Yeah, it was unfortunate on King. It was the right run, the right pass. Just got a little bit tangled and wasn't able to get the cross off. But the movements are there. Keep doing that, and you'll create good chances.
Lopez here from distance over the ball on the free kick. Chips to the back post in the area of Elizondo, but it's Fabian Serta to come up with the ball, and he'll quickly push upfield. As getting back is Cochran. What a great run back by Cochran. A little miscommunication there with Restrepo. That'll open things up now is Gamble. We'll wait for support. Levin to Gamble. Back into the box, Paris Guy, and defended away by Ryan Felix.
We're seeing signs of, again, that two-striker system being a partnership where it sets up that direct play, a quick counter pass by the keeper, really created a dangerous situation for Tulsa.
That was a heck of a run back, though, by Greg Cochran, just to make it a little bit harder on the outside for Joaquin Rivas to try to connect there with Michael Gamble.
He's got the fitness. I mean, if you're going to ask him to get in the attack as often as they ask Cochran, you've got to have the fitness and the discipline to be able to make that run back. Did a great job.
There's Vukovic, second corner of the match for Tulsa, at the top of the area and headed away by Mikey Lopez. Back to Vukovic to the outside. Vukovic with a strike to the back post and was looking perhaps for Wyatt Omsberg creeping in, but Omsberg unable to get underneath it. Vukovic has made his presence felt here early in the second half.
Looking more dangerous.
Rivas, their captain and goal scorer. Equalizing the tally from Omar Gordon back in the first half for San Antonio FC. Alex Bruce had a couple of chances in the first half. Probably has not made the impact as much maybe as Darren Powell would like him to tonight. He's been in the vicinity of some opportunities, but just hasn't been able to get on the end of a couple of services into the box.
Yeah, there's a lot of action in the box, and sometimes a striker will stand and wait and see.
As Lopez puts one over goal.
He'll stand and wait and see where the ball goes, and that's unfortunate because if there's consistency in where the service is supposed to go, then the striker can hold his position and wait to the last second to be able to explode at that spot. But he seems to be a little bit heavy-footed and just kind of waiting, hoping something falls his way. So he's got to do a better job in separating himself from the striker and take the chance and make the run to the near post or drift to the far post, but be more active in the box.
Gamble. Two-man game with Paris Guy, and it's another corner for Tulsa. They only had one in the first half, and it's now their second.
And we'll see that bending ball with a lot of velocity on it from Vukovic on this corner. These are dangerous balls coming in. You can almost see the game plan first half to second half. First half, it seemed like don't commit players forward. Just keep the game close. Let's not give the game away early. And then at halftime, we'll have our chat and come out and take risks, because anytime the ball goes forward, they got 3-4 guys breaking. And that becomes very dangerous, trying to recover and find the right marks.
Omsberg, center of the box, stands 6'4". See what happens. Vukovic bends into the back post. Down for Rivas. Well defended there, and I think it was off Rivas. So does San Antonio FC, but it'll turn into another corner. Pekka was there with him, and Pekka thought it went off him, off Rivas, and over the byline, but instead, Vukovic will come across the field.
San Antonio's taking no chances. They're bringing everyone back into the box, not leaving anyone up for counters. And that allows Tulsa to bring as many players as they want into the box. Makes it a more dangerous corner to defend.
There's another good chance. Dancing in and defended away. And another corner, and a lot of running for Vukovic here, going from one flag stick to the other. Almost a flip of the script, Coach, from what we saw in the first half. A lot of pressure from San Antonio FC, and now here in the first quarter hour of the second half, it's been all Tulsa.
Yeah. It's sticking to a game plan and making sure you stay focused. Keep that energy high and concentration level high, and that's what San Antonio didn't do coming out of the locker room at halftime. Now they're in a dogfight.
Vukovic again, Omsberg and Jacino in the vicinity. Parried away by Restrepo, came right down in front, opportunity, Jacino blocked away, and San Antonio FC escapes danger. And now Gordon trying to swing outside, Paraski with a challenge. Cervania. Tulsa will settle the possession down here. Once again, Cervania. The outside, Morton, bad touch there, allows Omar Gordon to come back on the ball. And thrown down as Darnell King will earn himself a free kick.
Yeah, I think at this point you've got to get Pekka and Mickey Lopez involved. Get them closer to the ball so that the play is not left to Omar and Daniel King on this side to figure it out. The possession has got to secure the momentum back in the direction of San Antonio. And those two guys in the middle of the park are crucial to make that happen.
You saw that was Felix that ended up blocking the chance by Jacino that enabled San Antonio FC to stay level in this game right now.
Yeah, we used to give bonuses for blocks. He deserves one on that one.
Cochran with a run on the outside. Service into the area, deflects off the Roughneck defender, and will turn into a San Antonio FC corner, their fifth of the match. Tonight's Military Appreciation Night match presented by Toyota. San Antonio FC and Tulsa leveled at 1, 63rd minute, along with the coach Tim Hankinson and our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us tonight on our season debut Fox Sports Southwest telecast. Dogfight for San Antonio FC, where if you looked at the standings between these two clubs and the way that the home side played in the first half, it looked as if San Antonio FC was going to run away with this one early. Give credit to David Vaudrill's club, keeping their composure, staying within striking distance, and able to capitalize off a San Antonio FC miscue in the opening minutes of the second half to draw level.
Yeah, sometimes as the visiting team, your game plan is more defined. Players have bought into it more because they know they're going to have to defend. They know the road is going to be difficult. And the home team, you get into this equation of, are we still attacking to win it? Or are we just trying to hold on? Are we waiting to see? Should we go forward and risk Tulsa getting a second goal? So it's a challenging moment, but you know, you got a better chance to win if you play to win. And with a playoff positioning being on the line, 1 point away, this is not a game you play for 1 point. You've got to go out and fight for the 3.
This ball gets through. It's deflected back out of the box. San Antonio FC fighting for possession there. We'll end up with Jonathan Levin. Bad ball on the left side and opportunity on the counter, but a little bit too far beyond Omar Gordon, who was trying to head off to the races, but San Antonio FC does earn the throw-in. Elizondo, who came on at halftime for Jose Escalante. King will take the throw-in here.
Don't think I'm going to guess what is going through coach's head, but you know, again, leadership is very important, experience is very important, how to get that second goal and get this game back under control. And a player like Rafa Castillo would be very interesting coming into the game at this point, because he's a midfield general that can control the game both from a possession standpoint, but also help build final passes in the attack, maybe to get that second goal.
Defended well there by Cochran. San Antonio FC now on the push. Elizondo trying to slip it to the outside for Guadarrama, and that was intercepted. Great job, though, by Pekka coming back on the ball. Plays that number 6 spot of the field so well. Guadarrama will turn it to the outside, Darnell King. Now San Antonio FC trying to establish a little more possession here. Elizondo trying to cut into the box, and that was well defended there by Giacino.
Yeah, that's the hard part for wingers, is your job is done once you've drawn 2 or 3 players. And you could see him on that particular play. He thinks he's taking on 1, but 2 others are collapsing on him. Once you have attracted that many defenders, you've got teammates that are open. So keeping your head up, and if you can't beat the player on the dribble because they've surrounded you with numbers, then have your head up and find the open man with the pass.
Pekka. Here's Cochran. Service into the box. Gordon! Just didn't get all of it.
It's a great cross, and Omar did a great job getting up. Tremendous vertical, and the snap was there, just misheaded it.
What a great ball here from the outside from Greg Cochran.
Omar should have done better with that. But like I said, keep getting Cochran forward, keep creating that service, numbers in the box, the second goal will come.
Probably their best sequence in the second half, Coach.
Absolutely. The game is getting back in balance.
Cochran and Elizondo again on the 2-man game. Lopez stepping up, and this is going to be a throw-in for Tulsa. The Roughnecks getting ready to make their first substitution of the match. Gion Perez, native of Uruguay, getting set to come in. He'll come on for Paris Guy here in the 67th minute. '25-year-old Perez has made 63 appearances in his professional career. Can play a little bit more defensively in the midfield.
This is a hard decision for David Vaudreuil. Obviously, a point on the road you're happy with, you know, and yet at what point do you go defensive and try to play out of the game versus going for the win? And for me, 67 minutes away, still a little bit early to start sitting back and trying to let the clock win it for you. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, Perez is a guy who's going to slide back a little bit. Paris Guy has been really pushing forward here throughout the match tonight. We'll see whether Perez will try to do the same or whether he'll sit back more. Bruce back to Guadarrama, returning to Alex Bruce. In a 1v2 situation now upfield. Bruce able to shrug off the defense. Bruce still with the ball and then lost it. Able to recover back in the box, but knocked away. It was an excellent display of individual effort, but just couldn't get one final touch on it. San Antonio not done. Bruce didn't do well with that last touch there, though. And now look out on the counter once again is Rivas. And he skies off the challenge there from Felix, who looks like he'll go into the books.
Yeah, going back to Bruce's run, tremendous effort taking on 2-3 players. But I look at the rest of the disposition of San Antonio's, their inability to join the attack quickly enough to read that and run into good spots so that if they do close down Bruce, he's got passing options that could lead to players in a better position to get goals. And it seemed like everyone just kind of hesitated, watched to see how it was going to play out, and of course that leaves him alone.
There's a hard challenge there by Ryan Felix, but with so much open space there and a dangerous player like Rivas, you don't want to hurt the player. You don't want to certainly impede his progress too much. But sometimes, coaches, those are good fouls to limit scoring opportunities going back the other way.
You know, if that foul is given up 20 yards closer to the goal, then that's a bad foul. You know, but giving it up in the middle third of the field here that has no threat to our goal is the right. And this is what they refer to as a bit of a tactical foul. And here comes Castillo.
You called it, Coach, in the 70th minute. The veteran, Rafa Castillo, will make his presence in the match, taking out Sonny Guadarrama, who had a really good night once again. So Castillo, 10 goals in 57 career appearances with San Antonio FC over 3 years. He is a ripe 37 years of age. He's almost 38, will turn 38 next month. 24 career goals in San Antonio professional ranks. And pushing forward here around Gamble, here come the counterattack from the men in black. As Lopez will get under this ball delivered across field. And now San Antonio FC's got to hurry back as Vukovic. An errant touch there by Rivas will turn into a throw-in.
You know, often the substitution that a coach makes, the players on the field see which player is coming in. And that often sends a signal to the players. For example, Tulsa's change sends a signal to Tulsa, hey, we're going to try and kill the clock and defend out of this and come away with a point. When you see Castillo come in from the San Antonio bench, it sends a signal to San Antonio players, we're going for the win right now.
Rafa Castillo, 1 goal this season as he makes his 9th appearance of the year. That was a goal scored on a penalty in Las Vegas 3 Fridays ago. It was part of San Antonio FC's 3-1 win over Lights. The raucous Cashman Field in Las Vegas.
Those defenders are getting stuck. You're not seeing midfielders move to the ball. So the defenders are kind of in a position where all they can do is play side to side. Need much more activity from the midfielders, much better from Lopez and now Pekka.
Deflected back to Felix as he goes upfield for Pekka. More operating space for Pekka. Will play to the outside. Here's Cochran. Elizondo now. Turning away. Back to Castillo. It's where he likes it. We'll go with a give and go here. Elizondo into the box, making the run. Cesar brought down in the box. Serta is down beyond the goal. San Antonio FC arguing for the penalty. Great run by Elizondo, though.
I'm not sure the penalty was there because at the point there was contact with the keeper, he was off balance, leaning away from the ball and not in a position to put a ball on frame. And for the keeper, again, remember, you're trying to kill the game. So stay down as long as you can and let that clock keep ticking.
Boy, a little magic there, though, between Elizondo and Castillo. And a sneaky little run into the box by Cesar. Will turn the Jets on at the last moment. But it ends up turning into a goal kick for Fabian Serta and the Roughnecks here with about 20 minutes or so remaining in this match.
And that final pass is exactly what Castillo's in there to do. You notice him playing very close underneath the center forward. He's not there to defend or to be the builder from the back. He's there to make that final pass and create that goal-scoring chance.
Gordon heads it upfield. Castillo chips it in Bruce's direction. Bruce opens up, turns back in again. Elizondo, this one on target, but on the field. Handled easily by Fabian Serta. And watch out because he's played the long ball a lot here trying to catch San Antonio FC off guard. Morton giving it back here on the left flank. Perez. Rivas couldn't settle. Back out top it comes.
Got 3 men on the back post here, guys. You got to sort out their markings quickly.
Here's Rivas. Back into the box. Levin, a strike over goal.
Got to get pressure to the ball. Got to make sure that you're looking on the weak side of the box to make sure all the marks are picked up.
And that was Cervania, rather, not Jonathan Levin, just inside the box. 75th minute at Toyota Field, 1-1 game.
See now at 1-1, we see the adjustment again with Tulsa. They're not just letting their strikers hang up top, waiting for the counter ball. Everyone's getting back and starting to defend.
Another good run here for San Antonio. Lopez's chance blocked away from harm's way. Gordon delivers into the box. This one's defended out of play there by Omsberg. Get a player's perspective of all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blake Down on the USL YouTube channel.
Got to get width out on the left, start to separate, open them up, and attack quickly. Otherwise, you lose the weak side.
Cochran couldn't get it over the head of the defender to Elizondo. Shanda will settle under this one. Push forward, Cervania couldn't settle. Drops back here now, Castillo couldn't find it. Settled back by San Antonio FC in the midfield. Pekka. Gordon makes the turn. Didn't fight his way through the defender though.
Great touch to spin on him and just a little bit unlucky not to get back on the ball.
Pekka again with some good footwork. Levin watching him. We'll give it over to Darnell King. Challenge from Morton coming on the outside. Back to Mikey Lopez. And again into the overlap to Cochran. Cochran into the area looking for Bruce, headed away. Tried to get it over the 6'4" Omsberg, who was able to head it out.
This is where San Antonio, even though they're in the attack, they've got to watch their numbers at the back, because what Tulsa's looking for is an overcommitment by San Antonio to try and get the winning goal, and that leaves that door open for the counterattack. So we can't afford to lose that, because we can't afford to be giving the game away, because positionally we get over anxious.
It looks like that's kind of exactly what King and Cochran are kind of paying attention to right now, pulling back here. They'll try again. A late handball, but called nonetheless. Off of Giacino, San Antonio FC quickly moving. Elizondo, corner of the box. Back out to Castillo, now stepping forward, Pekka. Just a little bit of miscommunication now, and here's that counter for Tulsa. Morton will switch ends. Vukovic. Rivas.
Got to step to the ball.
Perez, he's got a lane along with Cervania. Here's the chance. Tulsa's really had some good looks. And San Antonio FC, they're going to continue to go for it. They're going to put another forward. Mike Sepp's going to come on in the 79th minute to take out Darnell King. Hold on. Ryan Felix right now is down in the San Antonio FC area.
You know, one of the things that we talk about conceptually in the game is the expression speed of play. And most people in football think about speed of play as being the attacking piece. You know, how quickly can we switch and move the ball. But speed of play is also about how quickly defensively we can close down the opponent. So a ball that we just saw from one side of the field to the other, we're just not moving fast enough to close that down. We have to pick that up. And the same thing we saw at the top of the box, where they get that shot off and no one is moving to it quickly enough to disrupt the shooter.
Seth was going to come on for Darnell King, and now the King stays on the field. Seth hasn't played since week 3 of the season. He started the first 3 matches for San Antonio FC, but has not played since. But that's coach, exactly the offense that you're looking for. Mike Seth's a goal scorer. He's 17 career goals in 133 USL games. I think Darren Powell understands that 1 point would be a disappointment for his club tonight.
Yeah, I think it is, because this is a big game. I mean, it's not just your run-of-the-mill league game, another game each week. This is a game that moves you into a playoff spot, so you got to play it like a playoff game.
Cochran again into the box, was looking in Gordon's direction, but cleared away, back out. Touched by Lopez into the outside, and again it's King. To the corner stick, looking back post, but well over goal. And now we will get that substitution, and it once again will be Darnell King coming out of the 81st minute, and Mike Seth coming on. The next San Antonio FC telecast here on Fox Sports Southwest will be Saturday, June the 2nd. San Antonio FC will welcome in Portland Timbers 2. Portland Timbers 2 is having a much better season this year than a season ago when they were down at the bottom of the table. It's Timbers 2 right now sitting in 6th overall, 17 points. Rivas, well played there by Ryan Felix. Last year in Rochester, member of the All-USL second team, 100 clearances and 70 interceptions, and he played Rivas well there.
Yeah, he's having an outstanding year. Very settling player.
Gordon, back touch here now, and another one. Seth with the support on the outside. Slips it back into the box. It's a good through ball, and Bruce just couldn't get the final touch on it. Shandle settles things down. Castillo. Elizondo along the outside. They'll press in on Jacino, back into the box. Elizondo, as it opens, Elizondo with a chance, but it's taken on the grass by Serta.
Elizondo, very good. Quick touches, running at the defender, and then always that last second touch inside to create the shooting opportunity.
You've got a Roughneck player down on the pitch here.
Yeah, even though we're getting into the beginning of summer everywhere, as Tulsa's not the same climate as we get here in San Antonio.
It has been a hot week here, Coach, even by South Texas standards. 89 degrees at kickoff tonight. Nice breeze, though. You know, wind coming out of the southeast about 20 miles an hour. Breeze has been persistent throughout the night. That's Jacino, by the way, was cramping up in the box.
Yeah, and San Antonio just needs to keep the pressure on. I like the way they play when they are pressed in the opposing half. They seem to be able to break down the opponent in the flanks with the wing backs coming forward and the wingers coming inside. And remember, is historically over the first third of the season, Tulsa, we talked about them giving up early goals, which we took advantage of in the 6th minute, but they've also shown late in the game to give up goals, and so we have to be hunting for that.
Looks like Jacino's going to come out, and San Antonio FC will see Tulsa substitute perhaps getting ready to come in. Looks like that's Jamaican Michael Binns kind of loosening up. We'll see whether Jacino can continue or not. He's going to stay out for now. Jacino will continue. A lot of time lapsed here as we're down to 6 minutes remaining in our 90, but I'd gather at least 4 or 5 minutes probably of stoppage time to be added.
I would think so, with a couple of guys going down, the goal, the substitutions.
Rivas, edge of the box. Cervania as well in the vicinity. San Antonio FC able to clear it upfield. Donovan Levin will get back to it. Cervania on the outside will leave. And once again, Here come the Roughnecks. Ravis outside the box, puts it on frame, and a save by Restrepo.
Restrepo reads those moments so well, his angle play. You'd almost be better off forcing Tulsa inside in order to create shooting rather than crossing situations, because Restrepo really reads those angles well.
Seth slips it back for Gordon. Doesn't do well with that one there as he was trying to catch up to it before it crossed over the byline.
You know, it's what we talked about in the first half of how well San Antonio was doing with their crossing accuracy. And it seems like this half, it's half chances. I mean, we just saw Omar with an off-balance chance. We saw Darnell King just before that with an off-balance chance that goes out the inline. You've got to be a little bit more patient. And if you don't have good balance and are prepared to use a good technique to get accurate crosses in, it's better to pull the ball back, reset things, and take a different approach to the attack.
That's Justino again down on the pitch across field, and he tried to continue, but I don't think he's going to be able to tonight. Omsberg will go over there. Once again, the Roughnecks trainer coming out. So this is Michael Binns, who's getting ready to come on. It'll be the 87th or 88th minute. The Jamaican product.
Well, and with these injuries, players going down so quickly over little things, you know, you can see again, they know how to close out a match. You have to be able to manage the final 10 minutes of the game, and in their position where they're trying to come away with a point, you know, he's taking as much time as you can. You saw the San Antonio player immediately saying, get up, talking to the referee about, you know, the time killing. Very frustrating to a team that's here to win tonight, which is San Antonio. But that's the game that the team trying to steal a point has to play in order to get out of here with something to show.
So Justino will make his way off. Michael Binns will come on. His 9th appearance for Binns, 29-year-old. From Clarendon, Jamaica. 16 career goals, 58 appearances. This is his 18th USL match. Has some history with David Irving, technical director for Tulsa. Played for him in Wilmington a couple of years ago.
And this is a dangerous sub because you have a guy with pace who's coming in fresh against tired defenders. And as San Antonio pushes up, again, the chance for Tulsa to counterattack. Perfect type of player to inject in the game with the minutes remaining.
Nice little touch there, fed for Cervania, but couldn't open up outside the area as the ball came back to Restrepo. So Tulsa trying to see through a draw. San Antonio FC trying to find a little late magic here tonight at Toyota Field. Pekka darting his way through the midfield, gives to Mikey Lopez.
This is where the midfield has got to find their quality players to get them involved in the game. Castillo being one of those.
Elizondo flagged by 2 white shirts. And again, just trying to do too much against 2 defenders there, Coach.
Yeah, as we said, we saw it before when he took on almost 3. Taking on 2, its greatest confidence is that high. But as soon as you attract, you don't even have to beat him. As soon as you attract 2 defenders like that, your job is done. Find the open man with the pass.
Vukovic went flying, but they'll play on now. They'll blow it dead. It's Lopez who got him, but there was no foul. Actually played the ball really well there, Coach.
Yeah, but he also is an experienced player. He read the opportunity to kind of fall over the player, shaking his neck now. Everything hurts. Kill as much time as possible.
And already in the 90th minute, as we await how much stoppage time will be added here. That's really well defended there by Lopez as, again, Vukovic went flying. He's okay. Ryan Felix, by the way, who picked up the San Antonio FC yellow card earlier in the match, back in the 69th minute. He's sitting now on 4 yellows, along with Darnell King. Both one away from a 1-game suspension for card accumulation.
Yeah, I mean, something I'd like to see at this point is Cochran pushed up all the way on the left, basically playing with back 3, and let Elizondo come inside to play as a second forward to create a different look up there late in the game.
Castillo! He was right in his wheelhouse there, the left-footed striker. And he certainly was licking his chops on that one.
Such a good player.
You saw 6 minutes added time here in the second half. So still a long ways away from our final 3 whistles tonight. But it has certainly slowed down here over the last 15 minutes of this one. 1-1, San Antonio FC and Tulsa.
Yeah, midweek Open Cup games takes a lot out of these teams late in matches like this.
I mean, this would be not only a big point for Tulsa in general, but just a big point for them in this series. They have not earned a point in the all-time season series against San Antonio. 5 consecutive losses in league play in the first 2 years.
Yeah, and David Vaudreuil, the coach, I mean, he's looking for anything that he can build on, and that would be a positive result for them coming into San Antonio.
Sylvania can't keep it alive. It's been an opponent that San Antonio FC has really had their way with over the first 2 years of this regional rivalry.
As we said earlier, I mean, every game that we've played against Tulsa, we've always had a multiple goal game. And tonight, really, realistically, looking at the 2 teams, should not be any different. But our quality around the box in the second half has just not been as good as it was in the first half.
Look out here, some counter for Michael Binns, who's got some daylight ahead of him. Rivas will give it back to Binns. There's Gamble along the outside, making the run. Will get to the ball in the area, stays onside. Shot off the outside of the goal.
Yeah, he looked off to me. I thought the linesman was a little bit behind the play.
Couple opportunities for Gamble tonight. Tried to sneak that one in on the short side. San Antonio FC, can they find an opportunity here late? Cochran, Castillo moving right there at the corner. Cochran will switch ends. Drops down and Mario Munoz will clear it away. Ball was cleared out of the stadium. On the Wonderland Drive, Seth with a throw in.
It's a great long throw. Just looking for the flick.
Tulsa just trying to see this point through.
You got to speed the game up. You got to play quickly.
They'll use their final substitution of the match, a defensive one, as Francisco Ugarte will come on in for Michael Gamble. So this is defense for offense here in the
want to give up the 3 to San Antonio. So they know what their game plan is. Very committed to defend well, work hard.
San Antonio FC still has 1 substitute left if they so choose. Actually, I beg your pardon. They've used all 3. Castillo, of course, coming on along with Seth as Elizondo started the half as the second half substitute. Meanwhile, here's Lopez. Trying to find a little space. Boy, he takes a hard hit just outside the area, but we play on.
But there again, a dribbling move towards the corner of the 18 where he runs into 4 players, and you had Omar and Seth on the outside completely open. we just have to be more aware of keeping the head up. Find that open man.
Here's what you're talking about right here.
Yeah, see there are 4 and you have 2 on the right. You know, I know we can sometimes compare one sport to another sport, but it's no different in basketball to a point guard penetrating, everyone collapses, and then he finds the open man by dishing it. And we've had those opportunities in the corners when we attack the corner of the 18, but just not found the open man.
Perez earns a possession foul and a free kick for Tulsa. It's a bit of ways away, but I mean, this is still something of a dangerous set piece, especially with the caliber of a player like Vukovic here, could swing this one in.
Yeah, such velocity, it can come off a defender the wrong way. And this late in the game, any ball in the box is dangerous.
Great service by Vukovic, headed, but well away from the frame of goal. Going to earn it a corner, though, however. So, Vukovic will scamper over for 6th corner of the match tonight for Tulsa.
And he's not sprinting out there.
No. Shorter service from Vukovic this time, and that will do it.
That's it.
San Antonio FC and Tulsa Roughnecks FC. A 1-1 draw tonight here at Toyota Field. San Antonio FC earning their 5th draw of the season, and the Roughnecks remain winless, but it's their 6th draw of the year. And the first of this rivalry matchup earns level tonight. The good news for San Antonio FC, coach, they remain unbeaten in their last 5, but tonight they probably feel that 2 got away from them overall.
Yeah, defensively they're still very secure, and that's what they're building their confidence off of. Again, 1 point, depending on the other results tonight, can still move them out of 9th into a better spot. And so it's momentum building, and take the good of this and analyze what happened coming out of the locker room at halftime so that you don't make that mistake again. And then next time you face a team like this, which is shortly down the road, you'll get that 2nd goal and come away with 3.
Pleasure to have you on the telecast tonight. Look forward to seeing you down the road.
It's great. I'm a big fan.
Now, your club's season will continue next Saturday night. Back on the road. They're in Nevada. Take on Reno 1868 FC. Kickoff is at 9:30. You can watch all the action live on ESPN+. Now for Tim Hankus and the coach and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our final from Toyota Field, San Antonio FC 1, Tulsa Roughnecks FC 1. This has been a presentation of the USL and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. So long, everybody.